Greetings from the homestead. I am Volkmom, traditional farm wife and mother. My husband and I are very grateful this podcast is getting started. I'm honored to be able to contribute this segment to our folk. First, a little about who we are. Over many years in the winding path of life, we've always sought to live close to nature. Revolting against the decadency of the modern world in this way was and is fulfilling and strengthens our independence, cultivates resiliency, and hones our awareness. I have read that the original meaning of the word pagan meant a person who has a pact with the land. Living a Volkish lifestyle can facilitate a deep connection to our ancestors and the gods. We've challenged ourselves in the past to live without electricity or running water in remote wilderness areas. We've built fires without matches, flint, or steel, tanned animal skins to make leather, and eaten wild edible plants and mushrooms. We've used herbs extensively to treat, heal, or prevent ailments, and also for supplemental nourishment. Over all those years, my spirituality wandered, always searching for the right religion. There were periods when I tried believing in some of the items from the spirituality menu that young whites in America have to choose from, but never did they truly fulfill me. My ancestral faith didn't appear as an option, nor was it even on my radar. Yet, being so passionate about living closely with nature and remaining solid in our ongoing choice to educate ourselves about homesteading and survival is ultimately what allowed me a clear enough mind to eventually take the red pill. Especially because the alt-right is essentially rooted in what is natural and biological. I could say that my inner ember was fed the tinder to spark to flame. And as I'm sure our listeners can relate to, this feeling of an unstoppable, unbreakable charge, a taproot growing and reaching deep, and a spiritual awakening like no other. A desire to learn the ancient, beautiful religion of my people, my folk, my blood, my ancestors. Race is sacred. Today, we live a Volkish lifestyle, and personally, we will accept nothing else. My hope is to inspire you to move toward a rural lifestyle, or to at least learn how to integrate some skills and earth medicine into your life to reclaim our ancestral wisdom. Our people existed for thousands of years with sacred knowledge of herbs and a deep connection to their unique qualities. In modern times, we are proud of the outstanding contributions our folk have made in the realm of medical technology and medicine. We are grateful. Yet, it is true that with the severing of our roots, most of us have lost the wisdom of how to care for ourselves using what nature offers. Today, some modern medicines are overused for ailments which can easily be treated at home. Connecting with the plant world is very important. It helps one to tap into our inner wisdom. It can be meditative and nurturing to your soul. Whether you live rurally or in a city, I challenge you to take a moment to stop and focus on a particular plant or tree. Note its shape, color, size, smell, and anything else you observe while studying it. How is it unique? What do you like or dislike about it? This can be a great meditation. Using herbs in everyday life was common for our ancestors. They were used successfully for everything from fertility, colds and flu, to stop bleeding, heal wounds, and cure disease. The use of herbs was not what is often spoke of in mainstream culture today, which seeks to conjure images of cheap salesmen peddling snake oil, dumb administrations, and accidental poisonings. The truth is that these plants were life-saving and life-sustaining, and it's time to take back this connection. Fortunately, much documentation has survived. We have been using herbs in everyday life for many years. We've done a lot of research, and we recommend you do the same before trying them for yourself. Once properly identified, many can be grown in your garden, in large pots, or harvested from a park, your yard, or in the wild. Today, I want to speak of a powerful plant, Yarrow. The Latin name, which is essential for proper identification, is Achillea millefolium. Every day as I walk about our farm with chores, I see her blooming beautifully, so I will share with you what I know of practical use and lore. Yarrow was once called soldier's woundwort and warrior's herb for its remarkable wound-healing properties. With rough, angular stalks and finely cut feathery leaves, yarrow grows all over Europe and North America, wild and cultivated. It has tiny white flowers in larger clusters appearing to sit flat on top of the plant. The leaves and flowers are used. Named for the great warrior Achilles, who carried it to the battlefield to heal his warriors' wounds. Also known as herb militaris, it's most well known for having an affinity for deep cuts to the bone. The doctrine of signatures is a time-honored method of discovering the healing properties by assessing the appearance and traits the plant reveals to us. The deeply cut leaves of yarrow exemplify this. Warriors in battle might have deep wounds, cuts, infection, congealed blood, fever, and/or hemorrhage. Yarrow has proven to remedy all of these, often acting in unique ways specific to the exact malady. It is or can be diaphoretic, astringent, tonic, hemostatic, stimulant, antibacterial, analgesic, and antiseptic. In addition to the historical uses of this amazing herb, it has an interesting lore. Supposedly when worn, it protects one, stops fear, and promotes courage. It has also been said to be a good addition to wedding flowers, promoting a long, happy marriage. Interestingly enough, it happened to be an important flower in my wedding so many years ago. This introduction to yarrow would not be complete without some evidence of practical use today. In the mountains, harvesting berries many years ago, I accidentally cut my finger quite badly. It was bleeding profusely. I looked around and, of course, found yarrow growing all around my feet. We quickly picked some leaves, chewed them a bit to release the plant juice, and poulticed the wound. The bleeding stopped immediately. The cut healed in a couple of days. Another time, my husband was digging a deep trench with an adze. A large, sharp root was jutted out and cut his wrist. It was very painful and it was bleeding. Again, he crushed the fresh plant material and chewed the leaves, packed the plant material into the wound, and on top of it and all around it, he also took the plant extract internally. The bleeding stopped immediately. The wound was completely healed within several days. We still use yarrow all the time for even tiny cuts when working in the garden or walking in the woods. It cleans the cuts and it heals them. The use of this herb can also be valuable, for instance, if one is in the backcountry with an injury, just to tide you over until further treatment. We also dry the leaves and flowers to use as a tea that induces sweating in fevers and flus in the wintertime. Yarrow has a bitter taste and has been used traditionally in Europe to brew meads and ales. Lore has it that it causes a very strong inebriation. The soldier's woundwort herb has been known throughout Europe since the beginning of recorded history. It was also found in the grave of a Neanderthal man buried some 60,000 years ago in Iraq. If you can't find yarrow growing in the wild, but you do have a place to grow it, seeds can be ordered or the plants can be purchased from almost any nursery. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this segment.